Welcome back to the Coins Numismatic series. Today, we're going to explore one of the most interesting and sometimes misunderstood coins in modern U.S. history, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin, specifically the Philadelphia Mint issue, marked with the letter P. And trust me, while at first glance this coin might look like just another piece of change, its story, its design, and its collector intrigue will absolutely surprise you. Let's begin with the historical context. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first minted in 1979, and it holds a very special place in American numismatics because it marked the first time in U.S. history that a real woman, not a symbolic figure like Liberty, appeared on a circulating coin. Susan B. Anthony was a champion of women's rights and played a pivotal role in the women's suffrage movement of the 19th century. By the time this coin was authorized in 1978, the U.S. Mint wanted to honor her legacy in a powerful way. The idea was that the dollar coin could finally circulate widely, unlike its predecessor, the Eisenhower dollar, which was large and bulky and not popular in daily transactions. So, in 1979, the new smaller-sized dollar coin was born, and it carried with it the face of one of the most important reformers in American history. Now, let's talk about design features, because this is where the Susan B. Anthony dollar really stands out. On the obverse, the front of the coin, we see a bold portrait of Susan B. Anthony. The portrait was designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, who also designed the reverse of the Kennedy half-dollar and the Eisenhower dollar. Anthony is depicted in a three-quarter profile, looking to the right. Her hair is pulled back in a bun, and she wears a simple garment with a rounded collar and a brooch. Surrounding her image are 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies, along with the word Liberty arched across the top of the coin. Just to the right of Anthony's chin, we see the national motto, "In God We Trust." Below the portrait is the year of issue, 1979, and just above the year, on coins minted in Philadelphia, you'll find the mint mark, P. This was actually the first time that the Philadelphia Mint consistently used its P mint mark on a circulating coin. That's right, this is a big moment in mint history, because before 1979, most Philadelphia coins had no mint mark at all. On the reverse, the design is equally fascinating. Instead of creating a brand new reverse, the Mint chose to reuse Frank Gasparo's design from the Eisenhower dollar, which itself was based on the Apollo 11 mission insignia. We see a bald eagle landing on the surface of the moon, clutching an olive branch in its talons, with the Earth visible in the background. This imagery represents both peace and American achievement, tying directly to the moon landing of 1969. Surrounding the eagle are 13 stars once again, along with the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination, $1. It's a striking design, but because the Susan B. Anthony dollar is smaller and closer in size to the quarter, many people confused it with 25-cent pieces. That confusion became one of the major reasons why this coin struggled to circulate successfully. Now let's move to the topic of mintage and rarity, because this is where collectors really perk up. The 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar was produced in massive quantities. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 360 million of them that year. That means that this coin, in general circulation, is not rare at all. You can still find them in bank rolls, coin collections, and sometimes even in pocket change. However, condition matters tremendously. While worn examples are worth only face value, $1, coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition can fetch more from collectors, especially if they are certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. In pristine condition, known as MS65 or higher, these coins can sell for between $10 and $25. Exceptional examples, with flawless surfaces and strong luster, might even go for more. But what makes the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony truly exciting are the varieties and errors. Collectors love to hunt for subtle differences that can turn an ordinary coin into something quite valuable. One of the most well-known varieties is the so-called wide rim or near-date variety. On most 1979 P dollars, the rim is relatively narrow, and the date appears spaced further from the edge. But in some coins, the rim is wider, and the date appears closer to the rim. This variety is scarcer, and collectors will pay a premium for it. In uncirculated condition, the 1979 P wide rim dollar can be worth between $50 and $100, sometimes even higher depending on grade. That's a huge difference compared to the regular narrow rim version. So, if you ever come across one of these coins, be sure to check the spacing between the rim and the date. it could mean you have a treasure in your hands. Aside from the wide rim variety, there are also error coins that make this series interesting. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on improperly prepared planchets. These mint errors are always in demand among collectors, and their values vary widely depending on the type and severity of the error. An off-center strike, for example, could sell for $100 or more, while a dramatic double strike might command even higher prices. These errors are rare compared to the massive production numbers of the standard coin, so finding one can be a thrilling discovery. Now, let's consider the broader collector interest in the Susan B. Anthony dollar. When it was first released, the coin was not very popular. People disliked its similarity in size to the quarter, and vending machines often rejected it. As a result, millions of these coins sat unused in treasury vaults for years. However, over time, collectors began to appreciate the historical significance of the Susan B. Anthony dollar. It represents not only a bold step in honoring a woman on U.S. coinage but also a fascinating experiment in American monetary history. The coin has become a staple in modern collections, and complete sets of Susan B. Anthony dollars, covering the years 1979, 1980, 1981, and the final 1999 reissue, are highly popular with hobbyists. Market value is an area where many collectors are curious. As I mentioned earlier, the standard 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar in circulated condition is worth just about $1. In uncirculated grades, it might bring $5 to $10, and at high mint state levels, perhaps $25 or more. The wide rim variety is where the real money comes in. Even circulated examples of the wide rim can fetch $15 to $20, while uncirculated examples easily top $50 and can climb into the hundreds in superb gem condition. Error coins, depending on type, can range from $50 to several $100s. For collectors who enjoy hunting through rolls or bags of coins, the Susan B. Anthony dollar is a playground of opportunities. It's also worth noting that the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar marked a turning point for the U.S. Mint. It demonstrated the challenges of introducing a new denomination into circulation and foreshadowed later efforts with the Sacagawea dollar and presidential dollar series. Both of those later designs were larger, golden-colored, and far easier to distinguish from quarters, lessons directly learned from the Susan B. Anthony dollar's shortcomings. Now, let's talk a bit more about Susan B. Anthony herself, because knowing the person behind the coin adds so much depth to its story. Anthony was born in 1820 and dedicated her life to social reform, particularly in the fight for women's suffrage. She co-founded the National Woman Suffrage Association alongside Elizabeth Cady Stanton and worked tirelessly to secure voting rights for women. Although she passed away in 1906, 14 years before women gained the right to vote with the 19th Amendment, her contributions laid the foundation for that victory. By placing her portrait on the dollar coin, the U.S. Mint wasn't just honoring a historical figure, it was making a statement about equality, progress, and the recognition of women's roles in shaping the nation. That symbolism still resonates today, making the coin not just a monetary artifact but also a cultural one. So, to recap, the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony $1 coin is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. It introduced the P. mint mark for Philadelphia, honored one of the most important women in U.S. history, and gave us a coin that, while not successful in circulation, has become a beloved collectible. With varieties like the wide rim, valuable mint errors, and high-grade examples commanding premiums, this coin is far more than just a piece of pocket change. It's a reminder of innovation, history, and the surprises that can be found in even the most ordinary-looking coin. If you have one of these coins in excellent condition, especially if it has that wide rim or a unique error, hold on to it. It's not just worth money, it's worth a story, a connection to history, and a place in the rich tradition of coin collecting. And who knows, the next time you're looking through your old coins, you might just discover that what seemed like a simple dollar is actually a treasure. That's the story of the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. A coin that struggled in circulation but shines brightly in the world of numismatics. A coin that honors a pioneer, represents an experiment in currency, and continues to spark excitement among collectors today.